What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be reacting to dangerous gang leaders reacting to their life sentences. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video.
Stop. Stop.
I'm sorry to have you under, but
just stop.
you like in prison.
I made my ruling.
I'm not just some gangbanger that you tried to betray me as.
It was so very hard for me to tell a 5-year-old his dad would never come home.
Brutally stabbed and killed 15-year-old Lisandro Guzman Feliz. All 5 were part of a vicious Dominican gang called the Trinitarios. According to reports,
hold on, is my guy going Super Saiyan? I gotta see that.
Lisandro Guzman Feliz. All 5 were part of a vicious Dominican gang called the Trinitarios.
What the
According to reports,
my guy
Lisandro had gone to meet
shit.
a new friend a few blocks away from his apartment in the Bronx when 4
hey,
cars pulled up. Mistaking him for a rival gang member, the cars started chasing Lisandro, eventually cornering him to a nearby bodega. CCTV footage from inside the shop shows a desperate Lisandro seeking refuge and trying to hide behind a counter.
And you know it's Chai.
But he was spotted by one of the gang members. A scuffle ensued and Lisandro was dragged out of the bodega. Armed with large knives and machetes, the 5 took turns brutally stabbing the teenager, led away in getaway cars. After the attack, a severely injured Lisandro managed to enter the shop, but was sent away.
Yo, Ross, brother, the shopkeeper is wrong for that. Fam, the dude needs your help, and then you just send him away. I'm not gonna lie. The shopkeeper, whoever you are, you're probably not watching this. I don't have enough views. God dang. But anyways, if you're watching this, I want you to know, you know yourself, that you are a part of this. You kind of could have helped him, and then you just let him go. So I feel like the blood is also on your hands, because instead of assisting him, I mean, you could have at least looked like you tried. You know, you could have ended up on that hero story that plays every week. Like, hey, this one man tried to save him and failed. At least not this man kicked him out of the shop for being stabbed. Like, hey, get out. Hey, get out of here. You're making blood on my floors and you're making the customers uncomfortable. Get out of here. Nah, fam, that's actually messed up from the shopkeeper. I mean, I know maybe he thought he was in a gang, but like, still, help a brother in need. God,
died and fading fast. He gestured towards onlookers to call 911. The scene, they were later investigated for failing to help. Just 20 minutes later, Lisandro passed away as a result of a fatal stab wound to his neck. Police soon got hold of the CCTV footage and arrested the 5 suspects, charging them with first-degree murder.
Police have arrested the 5 suspects accused in the murder of this teenager in the Bronx.
And then Kevin Alvarez testified against the 5 murderers.
Kevin Alvarez's arrest, he's testifying in court against.
See, this is the same thing I was kind of saying to my friends. Like, fam, if you want to be in a gang, you got to live with the consequences, because I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not gonna blame him and be like, yo, that nigga's a snitch. He's a scum for snitching. Like, bro, who trying to go to prison? You like, I don't want to be bending for bread. Like, golly, bruh. Hey, you want some? Hey, you want knick-knack chips? Yeah, sure. I'd love some knick-knacks. You just gotta bend over. What am I doing? Just pick up the shirt over there. Okay. Fam, it never ends good for anybody. I just want to be honest with you. You don't want to see that situation. I don't want to see that situation. And you definitely don't want to be in that situation.
5 of his fellow alleged
charges. Eventually, the
You know what's the worst part and the most useless part is? I'm sure he's like lesser time. He didn't say no time. So he's getting lesser time, meaning he's gonna be in there with those animals. It's worse to be in prison. It's even worse to be in prison as a snitch. Correct me if I'm wrong. The things they're gonna do to you are unholy, unjustified. God can't save you at that point. You're done. You're done. You're on your own, fam. It's chai for you. At that point, just accept it. This is your life. I'm not gonna lie. I always made a promise. If I go to prison, I'm not staying, bro. I'm trying to break out in this be like, god dang, god
Convicted
dang,
the 5 gang
nigga.
members for the brutal murder
Damn.
of Lisandro Guzman Feliz. At their sentencing, the killers showed no signs of remorse. Instead, they waved gang signs and shouted gang slogans, sentenced to life without parole. Jose Munez, Elvin Garcia,
Damn.
and Antonio Santiago each received 25 years to life, while Manuel Rivera was sentenced to 23 years to life in prison. 4 people were wounded in the incident. Some students fled the scene, while others hid. Reportedly, Spencer also ran with them, but was eventually captured by the LAPD. He was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder. During his trial, the prosecution argued that Spencer, a known gang member, fired into the crowd in retaliation against a rival gang member.
That if you are so
See, that's the thing I hate about gangs and a lot of gang violence. Fam, I get it. You want to kill a dude. Well, actually, I don't get it. That's still messed up. But I get it. You're trying to kill another dude. But at the same time, fam, you're making things worse for everybody else who's just around that dude. I get it. You want to do what you want to do to the dude. But don't people actually think, like, yeah, I get when you see him, it's on sight, but, like, think about the other people that you're hurting in the process. Golly.
intent on killing someone, that you're willing to shoot them and at the same time open fire into a crowd.
However, Spencer maintained his innocence throughout the trial.
Sorry for what happened, Your Honor, but
Dang.
he's life in prison.
And I'm sure his friends are looking at this like, God damn, this nigga making us look like bitches. Because, I mean, he's in a gang. I mean, when you go into jail, I'm not saying don't cry or show remorse. I'm just saying, like, you can't do this. Like, fam, you can't be in a gang. I'm sorry, nigga. I didn't want to do it, but, you know, I was in a gang. I'm sure that gang's like, God, look at this nigga. He's making us look like bitches. Now everybody's going to start dissing on your friend like, Brandon Spencer, he was crying in the courtroom. You know how these gang songs be. You do one mistake, boom, everybody's dissing you. Fam, grab your cajones and be a man. Take it. Pause.
I'm not a bad person, but I made mistakes. But I'm not just some gangbanger that she tried to portray me as.
But the jury was having none of it. They found Spencer guilty of all charges. Then, at his sentencing to second-degree murder, things got emotional at his sentencing when the victim's mother directly addressed Jackson.
Our whole world was turned upside down from that point.
She said his actions had changed her life forever.
You changed our lives forever. You took it upon yourself to end my son's life.
But shockingly, she forgave her son's killer and showed sympathy towards him, addressing him as a young man who had dreams.
But he forgives you. And I forgive you. I don't hate you. And then they sent me a picture of Mr. Jackson. And when I looked at him, I said, Lord Jesus, this is so
angry, you know, full of pride, caught in the streets and in the middle of gangs and all type of other stuff. And I felt like, you know, that was the best choice for me to make. But today I don't think that was the best choice. But I take the full responsibility for my actions and am ready to face the consequences.
He also warned other gang members to learn from his mistakes and change their ways.
The life that we was living, being in gangs and all that other stuff, it ain't worth 16 years or death. Because eventually you be put in a situation and there's severe consequences that come with that.
Then, he ended his statement with some words of encouragement for his family.
My family, I just want to say, don't cry, this isn't a funeral. My life is far from over. They can lock my body, but they can't lock my mind. It's going to be a long tunnel I have to walk through, but I always stay focused at the light at the end.
Ultimately, Jackson was sentenced to 17 to 40 years in prison for the murder of Keandre Duff, officer, out of desperation. Like in the case of Officer Bronson Kalaloa, a 10-year veteran who was killed during a traffic stop in Hawaii. In 2018, Officer Kalaloa approached a vehicle driven by Justin Waike, a wanted fugitive who was out on bail. Waike had an outstanding warrant against him.
Justin Waike was in the very back and had shot him. He had concealed himself underneath the blanket, so the officer did not see him.
Other police...
That low-key is kind of search the vehicle. Oh, okay. Yeah, don't mind the blanket in the back. What are you talking about? Let enough shot. Let him. Oh, goddamn, get out of here. That is kind of a good tactic, but that's messed up. I'm not endorsing that, but like... It's kind of smart, though. But I'm not endorsing that still. I stand against violence type things.
The officers returned fire, and Waike was killed in the shootout.
There was an exchange of fire there, and Waike, as a result of the exchange of fire, Waike was killed.
Waike had 3 accomplices present in the car who were helping him escape: Jorge Pagan Torres, Malia Lahala, and Crystal Ferreira.
Torres, Lahala,
And
and
they're all
Ferreira
ugly.
remain in
It kinda
custody
makes
and
sense.
today in court. The judge denied them bail.
They were arrested and charged with accomplice to attempted murder. However, the prosecution couldn't prove those charges, and the 3 were later convicted of lesser misdemeanor assault offenses. Ultimately, Lahala was sentenced to 6 years in prison, while Pagan, Torres, and Ferreira each received a year of imprisonment, while Officer Bronson Kalaloa kidnapped and brutally killed Raymond Wood. Police found the mutilated body of the 17-year-old in the woods with multiple stab wounds, just 2 hours away from his home in Bedford County. Investigation revealed that Rodas set up a fake drug deal with Wood, after which the victim was abducted, strangled, and stabbed 29 times. Rodas was charged with first-degree murder, robbery, and kidnapping. At his trial, the prosecutor said Rodas killed Wood as part of an initiation ritual to move up in hierarchy within MS-13.
Because Raymond Wood had to die for several reasons. He had to die for MS-13. He had to die for the sailors.
I'm not gonna lie, imagine killing someone in the gang, then you join the gang, then you realize that the street life isn't for you, then you want to leave the gang. So you just ended someone's life for no reason. That's kind of dumb though, because think about it. One day he's gonna be like 30 years old, he can't run no more. He's not as fast as he used to be. And niggas in other gangs are obviously gonna catch him because he's the slowest, he's old. They're gonna be like, gosh, shit, that's easy kills, you know what I mean? This is kind of pointless, bro, killing another person you join a gang. Look, don't do it. Don't do it at all. But I mean, it kind of adds up. I mean, this lawyer probably knows his business. Because I mean, there was no way they just set up a fake drug deal just to kill a random dude. It actually makes sense. He really wanted to move up the ranks. He was getting his kill streak up.
He had to die for his reputation and rank within that vile organization.
The defense argued that Rodas was merely the getaway driver that day and had nothing to do with the stabbings.
He had no idea what was going on. He was just told to get in a vehicle and go on a ride.
The trial hit an impasse, and it seemed Rodas...
As shown to the jury this afternoon, Maddox told the prosecution the blade alone was over 9 inches.
With the discovery of new evidence, the jury eventually found Rodas guilty of all charges. Ultimately, he was sentenced to 55 years in prison for the murder of...
Yeah, chai. Anyways, at that point, judge, you might as well tell me I'm never going to see sunlight again. Stop wasting your time saying 55 years in prison. Fam, that's a long time. Like, I wouldn't even tell my family to wait. Even if my girlfriend went for 55 years, my guy, I'm leaving you. Like, 55 years is lang. You're not gonna leave. Unless they say there's a chance of parole. Let's see. No chance of parole, I'm assuming. And I know the higher the years, the bigger the crime, the more the bail. If you're my friend, I'm sorry, GG for you, my guy. You might as well just be bending over for bread and bologna, because I am not paying. That's crazy. But anyways, that's it for today, everybody. I'm not gonna tell you to like and subscribe. I'm just gonna say like the video, share this with probably one person. If each person shares with one person, then we can multiply this. Because this thing, we're gonna say 1 shares it to another one, that makes 2. He shares it to another one, that's gonna make 3. Golly, my maths is horrible. But if we all share the video at least once, we could have 1 billion views by freaking Thursday. So like, let's share the video, guys. I'm seriously waiting for you to share the video. I'm still here. I'm gonna cut this part out probably. Maybe not, who knows? I'm a weirdo. But seriously, share the video. Why would you watch this far and not even like the video and share it? Even if you don't subscribe, that's up to you. Anyways, peace.